What's up? We're in the next pod. Please go check out the previous pod to gauge your bearings. Guys, I implore you to listen to the last pod because I really hate to have to recap, right? But anyway, in the previous pod, I was basically talking about how it is that I was prepared to reconcile with my ex. And we were supposed to connect together to talk. And he stood me up. And it was shocking to me because I didn't understand what was going on. My heart was broken. My friend could tell that I was about to cry. But I told myself, I'm so Kala. And just when I'm busy pacing up and down wondering what's gonna happen, the mother calls me, right? I was busy calling him, my ex. Like I said, phone off, right? The mom is then the one that calls me. I'm a little bit panicked, thinking that the mom is gonna tell me he's been in an accident or was he or he whatever, right? Instead, the mom is like, "Hi, Karabo Unjani," and I'm like, "Hi, ma, how are you?" Like at this stage, I of course had the mom's number on my phone. So when she called me, initially I was worried, and then when she spoke to me in a calm voice, not crying, not like frantic and throwing her toys out the car, I realized there's nothing wrong with my boyfriend. And it also dawned on me that the mother is trying to stand in the gap for the son. So all throughout our relationship, whenever my ex-boyfriend wanted to mess up or was actually messing up with me, the mother sometimes would be like, "I'll call her on your behalf and I'll talk to her to basically soften her up that, you know, you might be able to come back into her life again." And my ex would always be like, "Ma, she's my girlfriend. I can handle my woman. Like proper, I don't need your help." Right? The mother was like that. She loved me for her son. Nang patlahay and low for Wanahai. But Wanahai didn't want to listen. Right? That was what was good. Very well. So like the previous occasion, the mother's after I called her on some, "Where's your son?" Like, really, I haven't seen him in a minute because I was freaking out. Ultimately, she confessed that he's been home, and I could tell that she was trying to cover the fact that he's been home all along because she tried to make it look as if though he only just rocked up on the Wednesday. But I could tell with her tone that that was not true. Right? We broke up because of that. We ended up getting back together because, remember, I went to that funny dingy house, and after going there, I wanted my man back. Very well. Cool. This time around, we'd been broken up for like 2 months, and in that time, his mom likely was like, "Where's Karabo? I've noticed you're not going to her place anymore on the weekends. What's going on? What's this? Gutulile Lana. You can't let Karabo go. Blah blah." He was basically getting pressure from the mother out here in these streets. Not only that, in and of himself, he didn't want to lose me, right? But again, I also kind of like the mom was all up in his case on some work on it. And he just could not ignore her. I don't know if he was like, "I'm done with Karabo. Please, mother, just leave me alone." But or if he was like, "Ish, like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know. Yeah, whatever." Ultimately, he is the one that I got to confirm that megafunu buya vele. There was something that was freaking my ex out about me. It was arresting him. He could not be in my presence, guys. That's the demonic ish, man. You know when you dabble. I finally gave my life to Jesus. If I was that wrestled for, Kisna Holy Spirit, what in the world do you think I am today? Now that I'm filled, guys. Frankly, a force to be reckoned with is that basic. Anyway, whatever. So something in my ex was fretful and fearful of who and what I am. The thing about involvement in the occult as well is that they sometimes know who is a Christian or what Christian activity is going on. And never sang khone, but they kept on, I believe, pressurizing my ex to basically khona me, handle me, get his way around me, and whatever under heaven it is that I am, or I was becoming. Alright? They were targeting me through him. Whenever he tried to come back and do a thing, nasa khon. I had prayed that prayer asking God for a sign, and the sign was a vehement manifestation of demons. It was vehement, and he could not be in my presence kindly as a man that was mine because the Holy Spirit would not allow him in my space in that capacity. He was wrestled. Do you understand? Wrestled. He didn't know what he did. He had no idea what in the world under heaven he had just concluded, and it separated us, put a gulf between him and I, a passionate romance that now was inevitably going to end. It had to. One where God was prepared to give this man me as a bride, and he, cordially rejected it, hoping to still get me as a bride but on his terms, and God was like, no. And it broke him into 10 million pieces because I was the love of his life. I was his friend. He lost me because he couldn't have me as a Satanist. God would have nothing to do with it. His mother calls me. I take the call. I hear the tone, realize he's not dead or dying. "Hi Karabo, how are you?" Nancy, he's a little bit caught up. He asked me to call you just to let you know that he's not going to be able to make it today. So she's speaking Zulu, and I'm using English because I don't want you guys not to understand what's being said here. Let you know that he's not going to be able to see you today. Unfortunately, he's tied up, and he asked me to call you to let you know because he can't get to his phone at the moment. He just wanted me to let you know that he can't make it. I was like, "Okay, ma." Like proper, like, "Okay, ma." Like, "Okay." okay? I don't want to fight with Biggie. Ugh, I keep mentioning his name. I didn't want to fight with Nonsi's mom, alright? I did not want to fight with Nonsi's mom and be like, why is he making you call me? Why doesn't he call me? This is a war between me and Nonsi. So I basically pretended to the mother that I understand. Alrighty. Thank you for letting me know. Bye, ma. But I immediately knew that because of my memory of how his mother has historically tried ukumkhulumela for me when he was in a season of insanity, I knew that this is exactly what the mother was doing. Literally standing in the gap for her son until he sobers up and stops being dumb. Because I had a feeling he was right there. His mother asking him, you have a meeting with Karabo. Why aren't you going? And Nonsi's like, I want to go. I'm not like, I'm tired. My bones are heavy. Ma, nzombona late. And the mother slipped into her bedroom probably and decided that she is going to do damage control until her son snaps out of whatever it is that it was taking him over. And so she made an excuse for him, hoping to talk him, sense into him, and let him know that you cannot lose this woman. Mother's love for his son realizes that there is a really great woman in this boy's life. Boy at this point, right? Really great woman in this boy's life. And frankly, I as a mother, I didn't manage to subdue my son and the life he was living. This woman rocked up and basically saved my child. I'm gonna lose my child because every time Karabo is like, whenever things fall apart between them, he becomes self-destructive. He cannot lose this woman. It's like me now. I was on suicide watch, basically preventing a man from snuffing lines of cocaine until he ODs, and also watching a man trying to prevent him from like doing something criminal that's going to get him arrested. Like I was keeping that man in a bunch with sticky tape because he would not make his own sober decisions to be strong on his own. I was like, I cannot do it. I'm not going to be sticky tape for this brother. Mama, Mara will move on. Like I will. Like a proper will. I never said that to the mother. I just said, okay, that's all I did. Nyabonga, thank you for letting me know. I guess nonsense. I looked at my girl and I was like, he made his mama call me. My friend was there, remember the baker. I was like, sister girl, unonsi, when's mama ke? When's my high rank phone girl? Nonsi made his mama call me, girl, like, what we gonna do when they come for you? Working on us, but it pays the bills. Working on us, but it pays the bills. Yeah. Kind of thing that you the Erica Bar do in the background. Just silence, just silence. Me and my girl just swing left to right to old school Erica Bar do. That's what was needed. But instead, I was like, he made his mama call me, girl. And my friend was like, hey son. The pain, you guys, and the anger, fury. As I was seeing red and yellow. I was seeing caution tape flashing in my eyes. I was seeing murder row. Had it coming. He only had himself to blame. This dude was about to be popped. Cicero, lip shits, like 6. Any of those guys that got killed in cell block tango. I was seeing red and yellow. And the red and the yellow and black was the caution tape around the crime scene. And the red was his blood. I was seeing red. I was like, Lord, I'm sorry. Orange is the new black. Like proper cell block tango. Cicero Lipschitz, he had it coming. He had it coming. He only had himself to blame. I didn't do it. But if I did it, it was a murder, but not a crime. Low key. But the Holy Spirit was like, you asked me for a sign. You asked me for a sign. So while there was caution tape, there was also a manzi and a fire extinguisher, basically just kind of, eradicating my murderous intent. I wasn't healing. I was starting to do better. This guy contacts me. I'm all excited. I'm doting. I'm adoring of the prospect of being with my man. And then he stands me up and his mama called me. I was like, your mama's the one that wants to be with the sister. Not you. I'm not dating your mama. Your mama cannot love me more than you love me, because on that day, it's going to be a weird little strange, awkward, like anomalous, weird, freaky little relationship where your mother and I have basically like put you in some diapers that you might be a neat little boy. Dude, you gotta love me like a fat kid loves cake. Against all odds, even if your mama hated me, you were supposed to basically against all odds try and break past to be with me. Otherwise, and when then our marriage fizzles and does funny strange things, am I gonna gossip you with your mama? Am I gonna be one of those brides? I'm not gonna be one of those women that are busy calling a man's mother to get a man in shape. I'm not doing it. Just in the same way that I was not about to be a mistress to a dude that I genuinely had feelings for, that was trying to make out of me Dej Loaf to Jacques. I was like, I'm not going to marry your mom. I'm not going to be in a relationship with your mom. And I appreciate that there are so many women in this world that really have a hard time with mothers-in-laws. I would have had the best mom-in-law in the world because she would have thought I was the best thing since sliced bread, and I never would have had any issues. Mom-in-law that would not expect me to go and blacken my knees just to impress her, because all I did was save her son. I was going to be a very happy bride. Go ahead. It was going to be a beautiful day. It's a wedding. Because I'm very happy. That was like pushed down the aisle by the gale force winds of the mom's insistence. We're not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm hot. Me, I'm flying gorgeous. Ayikho indoda mina ozongithatha reluctantly ngoba uma wakho ubhizi uya-insista. Asizoyenza dideng bro wami. Kimupila ga ke le makana o ska tlongbora ke hot. Ke so hot, Grand Shab, that one of your boys don't wish our relationship because you don't fall in love with me. I ain't doing it. Lebalang obuti. Ke le ka lebala mma how sham ke morata, she's precious, but not enough to marry you because she said to you that do it or you will die. You gotta want me. If you don't want, it's alright, dude. I walk down the aisle to some other dude. I'm lovable, don't you see? I done transformed the brother. I can do it again. I don't mind. But you gotta be the one to let me know that you gonna let me go. Don't ever try to come back. What's got on guy? Get wiki. Already control go right now. Grand shop. Let me see if I have black girl magic. But I don't want to fight because I'm trying to be a woman of peace. So I'm just going to play some Erica Badu with some girls of mine. Pinjam will sway left to right while eating her baked goods. Renone. And I guess figure out how we're going to get through this together. Right. I spoke to my girl in the apartment there. We never went to the mall. She baked, finished baking, put frosting on the cake, and ultimately left while I was swallowing my tears and my wrath and my murderous desires. When my friend left, that's when steam engine doo-doo. Got someone low. That's when fire came. I didn't want to throw a scene in front of my girl. Her cake might have not been finished because she would have run out of the house. So my girl left with her baby shower cake. And I'm in my apartment alone. And the red is starting to become black and blue. Because now I'm seeing bruises. I wanted to talk to this gangster. Enough with the SMS. He wasn't answering his phone. And at some point when I was calling because he knew I would throw my toys at the cart, he just started to hang up. There was a time when he would let the phone ring until it went to voicemail. Nah, this time he was pressing reject. I was like, insane. What'd I do? I went from anger to insecurity. And I was wondering, what did I do? Why are you being like this to me? Why are you hurting me like this? Seriously, is it over? Remember how every time we would break up and we would make up, basically our rationale, or his rationale, was always, it doesn't make sense for us to not be together because that's just who we are supposed to be together. And here it is, and I was like, but it doesn't make sense for us to be together, so why are you doing this? I went from anger to sorrow and feelings of so much exorbitant rejection that I just felt like I was so worthless. Here it is that a dude had just basically told me, be my side piece or get out, and I cut him off. So I was feeling insecure, but then again, I was the one out here trying to ransack a relationship. I was a homewrecker in that situation, so I had that situation coming. I deserved to be rejected that way, but it still was rejection. And that rejection, here it is that now, a man that when everything else was falling apart and when everybody else was treating me like trash, he was there. Now he's rejecting my calls when I'm ringing it up a storm, blasting his phone. I went from, like I said, angry to insecure and sad to angry again to insecure and sad. I sent him text message after text message after text message, basically cussing him out, telling him it's over. You're such a like this, that, I was calling him names and whatnot. I couldn't understand what was happening. At this point, the mother's like, I guess pelile, like she literally watched a building topple, crash and burn that was built over 5 years that his son had basically been responsible for detonating, and it was our relationship. She watched it happen and there was nothing she could do. She stood in the sidelines, basically teary-eyed. But like I said, I was not dating his mama, I was dating him. I was not dating his baby sister, I was dating him. I was not dating his cousins who liked me, his aunties, his grandmother. I was dating him. And this dude went on right ahead and put some dynamite in some building that we were building for some years. And it shattered me that he wasn't even trying to reconcile. This guy literally fished me from chilling because I was starting to heal. He called me and got me all excited again, and then did that. Heaven, I hate all of this reminiscent chatter because it just brings back all the attached emotions. But we gotta get through this conversation because it's about time we get to the point. Very well, Ninja Dog. Cussing him out. Doesn't do anything, doesn't respond. In my hair, I'm boiling. I'm basically bleeding the color purple. Like proper, my blood is dead. It's getting cold. And out is oozing purple. There ain't nothing going on. Like, that's what's good. How not bleed up purple. Hey, but I sleep in anger. I wake up with tears crusted up around my eyes. Yeah, the talk was saying it's a hard knock because I slept in tears. Very well. Prepare to go to work in the morning. Tell myself I'm gonna be strong. It's not long ago since I got a promotion. I'm a project manager now, and I got meetings. I got a life to live. I got a future to build. I'll heal. I told myself I'll heal. Okay, Monday comes, Tuesday comes, Wednesday, and I'm still saying I'll heal. I stopped calling him. I stopped blasting his phone with text messages. I just was like, "Kita fola." And indeed, I'm continuing in the office, and it's getting better. The days are progressing, and it is getting better. I believe I'm on the phone every day with my girl on some, "Hey girl, she's out there in these streets putting band-aid on my unfortunate cancer." But anyway, at least I got comfort. I got friends who are talking to a sister. One of my girls was so angry. She was so upset. But that girl was always kind of violent when it comes to the way that guys were treating us. She was like, "Get chill, karabo. Get chill." I just knew from the beginning, girl. That guy didn't make sense for you. Get chill, karabo. I was like, "Girl, don't add fuel to the fire, blom, and make like a flower. It's to come your blom." Get chill, karabo. I could just tell. I'm sick and tired of these guys. And then she would hop into another conversation about another one of our friends, deadbeat boyfriends. She'd be like, "Yo, even in the way to go this guy. Get chill, karabo." That means I told you so, karabo. I said, "Girl, chill. Thank you. I appreciate the fire and the fervor. Just don't go and break his house down. That's for me to do. I'll put some air in his tires. I get to do that. Not you. Okay." Yeah, the comfort worked. It helped. It really did. The comfort with the friends did help. I will not lie. Yes, it did. I was here on the phone pretty much almost we're in between meetings, in between lunch, whatever. Yet another girl with whom we were like, yes. Yeah, no, but I would then go to my apartment all by me lonesome and feel it. But it got better as the days progressed, as the week ensued. Lo and behold, we enter into the following week. I spent my first weekend in this cold, icy atmosphere of it's over, I guess. Okay. Yeah. Went to church on Sunday. It made me feel better. I started to enjoy the music. It was really nice. Right? I was at Rayma. And I'm still with my girls. Get chill, karabo. Okay, sisters. I then got close with yet another friend, and she was instrumental, actually, frankly, in the attempted healing, because frankly, no one actually healed me until Jesus rocked up, right? This friend had gotten divorced from an abusive boyfriend that started out absolutely doting and adoring my ex, and we had so much in common that every day we were talking, and she was the source of my survival until this particular random new thing happened. Then I became inconsolable. Yeah, this friend of mine literally here all day, go phone noon, come seventeen at home. When I got there, we would talk until basically it was time to sleep. In the morning, we were my high school friend, right? So the one who baker lived from high school, but this was another high school friend who had gotten divorced from a dude that turned all hard knock deadbeat, confusing the living daylights out of her because once upon a time he loved her so much. My friends helped. God did use them, but then they all went pear-shaped eventually. When a person gets called out of the world, weird stuff happens. Anyway, whatever, cool beans. I'm in now the second week and it's getting better indeed as time progresses. Alright, and then that's when my ex, after a week of silence, I told you guys already, he was the type to make me come down before he comes back. Alright, he contacts me and I start to calm down. Yes, the gullibility, not even, it wasn't so much gullibility, but when you love a guy and you literally realize that he's messing up, so he'll stop. And low-key, I was basically kind of hoping that he will fix himself and just like, you can't lose me. It doesn't make sense. Was our relationship punchline when we got back together. Us not being together doesn't make sense. So since I imagined he would be like, it doesn't make sense, whatever demons were up in that guy, all up in him, made him make a decision that confirms that it was indeed over. Like, I had broken up with this guy, he had messed up, but he made me feel like he dumped me. Okay, he calls me. I'm thinking, finally, he's waking up to smell the silly coffee. I answer the phone because I'm not immature like him to hang up on you when you try to call me. Hello. And my hello is like without attitude. Hello. I sing hello. How are they? How you doing, Crab? Hello. Like a hello. 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 Okay. He's like, Karabo, I've got some paperwork right now that I drafted for my business. Remember, I put you as a silent partner. You need to sign yourself out. I cannot just remove you. Yo, my heart, guys. Yeah, I'm expecting this guy to be like, baby, I'm sorry, look, I've been a jerk. And instead he tells me, okay, so this is the final thing. It's actually really truly over. Pelilelana sisters. Well, since we're obviously not ever going to be together, I'm not trying to have you be on my paperwork. Next thing you be trying to claim a portion of my business. I so did not see that. That deed broke me into 10 million pieces because it confirmed it was over. I thought that this finally would ultimately end up my husband, and that right now he was going through a stupid phase I didn't understand. And then he sends me, he tells me that he's going to come to my apartment to drop off paperwork with me to remove me as a partner in his business. Because I told you that he made me a partner because he wanted a female there, and he could have used his sister, but he used me because remember, we were gonna get married, so he might as well use his future wife, right? He wants to remove me from his business, guys. Not that I was trying to get a piece of his like business. All that did to me was shadow me because it confirmed it was over. That's what hurt. I didn't know how to reply. I was like, it was a taser. The thing that he said, it took a minute to register, right? Fine. Ultimately, when it registered, I was like, I want to see you in the flesh. Fax me that nonsense or scan to email, please. I'll sign it and send it back to you. He was like, I can't send it to you via fax to email or even fax because I need your physical, actual signature in living color. We cannot have it copy pasted. Not getting copy like a copy machine, right? It cannot be a copy, it has to be the original. Yo, guys, I was like, I don't want to Kenya. Like so many companies and so many official documents accept in fax to email format. Just like I'll go to the police station, proper the affidavit to confirm to the original copy. My signature Lena, and I will fax it to you. I don't want to see you. Don't lie. I've done some law at Wits, so I understand that it is possible for me to send an official document without it being an actual signature. He just wanted to agitate me. I was right. When I went on board, yo, guys. He was like, Karabo, you drop these things off at you. You must sign it, and then I will come and pick it up, or you can sign it straight away. And if you I will wait for you to read them, or I will come back another time to collect it. Yazi, he was acting so like in a professional capacity like a lawyer that served me with papers. That was basically the tantamount of it, divorce. I wasn't married to him, but I know what it feels like for a person to file for a divorce when you're not ready. I know. We were not married, but that was his action of divorcement out here. And I was like, go official. Yeah, guys, I didn't want to see him. But he insisted. I started avoiding his call. I was like, scan, email that document. Scan and email die Tokomani. He did not scan to email it. This brazen, bravadified, random monstrosity rocked up at my apartment, buzzed at the random gate, and I was like, hey man, leave. Security guard, dog. I told the security guard, don't open for that little doggy doggy dog. Security was like, sorry brother, I'm not opening for you. Brother was like, you don't have to open for me, please. Envelope. You guys, I don't even have to go in. Please, when she gets out, give her this envelope. He dropped it off with the security, and security had to, I mean, he can't just hold on to Ama paper. He can't just hold on to papers. Indeed, when I was driving out one morning, he was like, my sister, this is for you. I could not make war with the security guard, so I took it. Eish, guys, manyo, he broke my heart. Yes, well. That thing that he insisted on doing to me, he didn't even have to do it because I was right. I could have scanned and emailed it, sent it to him. Well, I took it and I left it in my car. Like, literally, it was just sitting there in the backseat of my car. I did nothing to it. I was like, I will scan, and I actually took the papers out from the envelope. Actually, I didn't leave it in my car. I took them from out of the envelope. I signed them. It's not like I insisted on staying a partner or whatever. I was content to do that. But I signed these papers. And then I scanned, emailed, and sent them to him. He was like, Karabo, I told you. And again, I told you that I was used to this guy calling me baby. So now, Sekele Karabo 24/7. Now I'm Karazi 24/7. I was like, wow, okay. It's weird to hear this man calling me Karabo, but whatever. It is what it is. I guess upelile manje, right? Very well. I scanned to email it, and then he calls me. Hang phonela. I don't want to take his calls, but I can't ignore him because he is basically claiming to operate an official business here. So I'm like, hey, why are you calling me? I sent you the document. Leave me alone. Kay signile, kay scan, kay email la. Ha ban o batla gore ke ye ko police station nkilo tsa affidavit ke lo thola di certification, di stamp ke tla all that jazz, but I don't want you coming to my apartment. Okay. I received it. I signed it. If you want me to go to the police station to get basically a signed affidavit and a stamp, I will do even that. But I already sent you that thing, dude. I don't want to see ubusoba kokren shop. I don't want to see your face. Like what? I have never in my life had that kind of quarrel with my ex. Our relationship was relatively calm and we were kind of cordial. Even in our former breakups, we were always cordial. This here was an ugly breakup. It was an ugly breakup. But this dude, wait again. When I symbolism, I say this and start singing one of Jay-Z's songs. 666. Like little Uzi Vert. I tattoo a upside down cross on his forehead. His personality changed. He became a brand spanking new man. When I say like Taylor Swift and Tyler and Katy Perry and cover the one eye and do an album cover proper. He was supposed to end up posing for the Illuminati. This dude changed. The way that celebrities changed from one album to the next. Coming out, Rihanna, bad girl gone good, girl gone bad. That's probably what happened with this guy. He was rolling around in a freaking alter ego, and I did not know what its name was. It might as well have been Igor from the Addams Family because it was that gothic. But he was not the man I met in 2006. He was already glitching and twitching in the run up to this particular day, but now he was completely transformed. And what transformed him? What finished off his process of evolution, metamorphosis into something beastly? It was Tabar Mudim Nampatla. And the devil used that to basically like finish him off. Ebatung. I was so crushed, battered. At this stage, I was one of two. I was at a fork. I had to make a choice. I could either be an angry woman that's busy, I slash the windows of your car, Kiketa Jasmine Sullivan, or try and be calm and still and peaceable. I'm busy. RJ in these streets, still going to church, Marayo. Wrath. Do you know wrath? Do you know anger? Do you know discontent? I was working in it, guys. Me, I was about to go and kill a man. I just shot a man down in Central Station in front of a big old crowd. Oh, Kiketa Rihan, I'm laughing. Oh, mama, I just shot a man down. I never meant to do it. Oh gosh, whatever happened to me? Why did I pull it trigger? Boo, I'm killer man, so soon. I'm a criminal. Oh Lord have mercy, judge, please give me minimal. I was literally about to shoot a man down. That dude mega risk by coming to my apartment. I was at a crossroads. I'd never experienced that amount of wrath in my heart before. I just did not know what was going on. This was spiritual. Even my anger and the reaction, everything. There was a spiritual war for days. Like there was a fight for our souls. It was the literally kingdom of darkness and light. Separation. The Lord has come upon the earth not to bring peace but a sword. Division. And he divided me and my ex. Literally a clean line in the center. And I was to go to the kingdom of heaven and he was to work for Satan. As a clean line right down the middle. A man that I loved with every bone in my body. And God put a sword between us. Yeah. Why did I pull the trigger, pull the trigger, pull the trigger, boom, and kill a man and take a man life so soon? I'm a criminal, criminal, criminal. Except before I indeed did that, oh Lord of mercy, he had that mercy. Lona, because I faxed or emailed that document and I can remember he rocked up at my apartment without me agreeing that he should come. Well, guess what? This time around, he wanted me physically at my apartment. He was stuck at the gate. I didn't let him come in, and he dropped it off and said that he will come and pick it up and collect it. I wouldn't let him come into my apartment, but I mean, really. I still don't know if he took office in Yang. Guys, yes, this guy. Yo, he was ripping me apart. Tabola. Eva don't cast your pearls to the pigs. But my ex wasn't a pig at first. He became. Give what a sacred to dogs. They said lest they should trample them underfoot and then turn around and tear you to pieces. That's what he did. He came to my office. I couldn't throw my toys out the cot. Them 17. Next thing I get a call. Hi, Karabo. How are you? I'm good, and you? Yeah, no, it's Cheryl from the reception. There is Nancy downstairs at the reception for you. I was like, okay, Cheryl, I'll be right down. Hang up my phone, and I'm like, Batung, this person uko officing. I could not tell Cheryl. I don't know who that is. Tell him to get out. I could not be throwing my toys out the cot and causing a man to cause a scene. Go building in Yam Sebezi. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do it. So I had to be what do you call this thing? Professional. I was at work, for crying out loud. He came to my workplace. Simsebenzin manje. Can't do strange things. Hey Batung. Jo, guys. Hey, my ex broke me. That's why he shattered me into 10,000 million gazillion pieces. I found him standing there, go reception in my office, and when I remember his legs were folded, like his right leg on top of his left, and he was standing there with his head slightly tilted, just waiting for me to come out. And he just had this cool disposition about himself, like his swagger and that grant up my ex, that arrogance, that pomp, to walk around with that kind of swagger. Ngati, really, you think you defecate ice cream. That was never his disposition, but he had it to that day. He was a different man. Guys, ngati, they put him in a machine. Wapuma angus satan. Yar. He had swagger. He was suave. He had attitude. He was indifferent. Yes, like it, yo, man. Like I do, yo, batung. Kya twang mo satan. Twang mo satan. Leave the devil alone, guys. Please, nyang. Here was this random nonsense in the reception, co-officing, looking like a swagger-fied rando. He looked like Harley from Temptation after giving Judith HIV. Oh, wrong. Utubile matekwane marawatel. Anyway, whatever. Here is this dude in the office co-receptioning. I get out and I'm like still stomping my feet like a little huffing and puffing and throwing the house down. But I'm trying to keep my cool because I'm in the office. Hello. You be coming to my work? Is that what we're doing now? He wasn't even angry. He was suave. Not sure I chew bubble gum, yo. Yar. If at all smoking was allowed indoors, he might as well have even taken out a cigar. Like right there, the way he had this like swagger about him. Evil. Diabolical. I walk towards him, and as I walk towards him, unfolds his legs. You know how the right leg was on top of the left? He opens the envelope, takes it out as I'm walking towards him. He even had a pen at hand. He didn't have to ask the people at the reception to help him along. Basically, just being like, you're gonna sign here and here and here, and I'll be out of your way. It's that simple. This guy treated me like I was a girl that cheated on him with his brother, had his child, but I was groveling for him to stay because he was the one that loved me most. Except I was a ride or die woman that helped him become the man he was, and he was treating me like the bubble gum underneath his shoes. And there was nothing nobody could do. There was nothing anyone could say to unconvince him from this travesty. He became a monster. I was not gonna throw a scene in the office. I took his papers and I signed where I found, I guess, my name to sign, and I gave it back to him. And after I gave it back to him, he was like, thank you. God, what in the world? Ukarabo, Lord, dude. This is Karabo. This is not just some willy-nilly did like whatever. This is the woman that was ride or die. Yeah, but this is Karabo. What are you doing? This is Karabo. Just in case you're confused and you're blind, or maybe, I don't know, you are hallucinating on mushrooms or something. You're seeing visions. This is not an alien. This is not some Jezebel. This is not some funny little thing with horns on it. This is Karabo. Oh, sure, and he was like, thank you. Sure, guys. Wamba lo mundo. Land dog yahamba. Hey. Move on to the next part.